everyone. Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Narlo here. Say hello to everyone, Narlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were up in the Misty Mountains far to the north, and then over in Winterholm, surrounded by cold and ice and snow. But we have traveled all the way back down here to the Trollshaws once more to see if we can finish up a couple of quests that have been hanging around in our quest log. We went up, and if you remember last time, we were up there looking for Gersmat in Book 5, Chapter 2 of the Epic Line. We were on Gersmat, and he tried to roundly kick our butt. So we are going to take a break from that, put on a few levels, although the more I've been doing the Yule Fest, the more I've been leveling up, so we're already a level above him as it is now. I believe the quest was a level 42 quest for this one. Let's take a look at it right quick. Yes, it is a level 42 quest, so I imagine it's not going to take too many more levels, and we will probably be able to solo him without too much danger. But what we are going to do first is we are going to head out. We've got the road seldom traveled, which we've had for a while. And since it has been on here for a while, let's go ahead and take a look. The Trollshaws are dangerous, Narlo, and it takes the labor of many elves to keep the wild at bay. South along the river, the wooded hills of Tal Bruinen are home to fierce Gardain, and wood trolls and rockworms climb the heights. The elf camp of Echad Candleth stands high atop one of the hills of Tal Bruinen. Travel east until you see the river and follow the dirt path to the south that climbs the hills above the western bank of the Bruinen. We've been down that before. If you remember, we traveled all the way down that path and all the way down the river looking for that lily of unsurpassable beauty for the emo elf over yonder. After you pass into Tal Bruinen, keep a close watch on the path, for the wilderness encroaches upon it, and it may be difficult to make out. The land, too, is damp, and the path may be crossed by several quick-flowing streams. If you manage to follow the path, you will come across Haradir, and he will guide you to Echad Candleth. Alright, so that is what we were going to do. We are going to head out trying to find Echad Candleth. I'm going to go ahead and light up my torch, which, as you remember, I do carry my lantern with me, so I'm allowed to light up my lantern. And we are going to mount up on our steed of Mickledelving and head down toward the Bruinen. I did have one question, by the way. Mind Fiend had asked me the other day, how do I get this paper doll up? This paper doll, and give me half a second here. Turn down the music some. I don't know what it was sounding like over my voice, but it was actually blaring in my ears. This paper doll, he says, only comes up when he has items that are damaged. Well, it's the same thing here for me. It's only popped up because, as you see, my ring here is in the orange. It's down to 9 over 50. So that's why it's come up. As soon as it gets down to, I think when any item gets to 10% of its durability left, you'll see the paper doll. You only just don't see it yellow on there because the rings and necklaces and earrings don't show up. Any of the jewelry items don't really have a place. You ought to put maybe a little jewelry marker over here to turn yellow and red. But that's why. It means that I have something that's in need of repair as well. And we will probably do that whenever we reach, Echad Candleth. So we are going to head on back down to the Bruinen River, dodging the wood trolls along the way as we go. Well, not the wood trolls, but the hill trolls. And we will see you when we reach the fords. We are coming down the hill toward the Bruinen again. We have passed, seen me mention in the past, that remains of the bonfire over there that Aragorn and Glorfindel used to scare off the Black Riders here at the ford. And we've come to a fork in the road, so you don't go quite down to the river. You can see it just in the distance right there. But right here is the right-hand path that we are to follow and go up higher into the mountains. Travel along the cliff face that overlooks the Bruinen. We only had to dodge 3 or 4 trolls while we were coming down. It wasn't that bad. And we are going to follow this path on along imagine, yep, we're going to aggro the bears, I would think. Yep, we've aggroed several of them. We're just going to continue following it. We're not going to turn right here. Right leads us over there to that camp of wolves that we had to go into to find out why the wolves were so stirred up and causing so much trouble. Obviously because of the Black Rider having come through. Instead, we're going to continue on the straight path down through the ruins and all until we get down here to where it joins back in next to the river. And as you would imagine, they are correct when they said that it starts becoming overgrown, kind of fades in and out, hard to follow. You can at this point simply cross across. Who is it that we are looking for? Haradir. So according to the instructions, Tal Bruinen, Sumner told you to head east and see you see the Bruinen River. Ah, we got a deer that's wanting to be a pain in the butt. Alright. Well, I haven't gone deer hunting in a long time. Let's see what we can do with him. These aren't the docile, quiet, easily scared off deer that you'll see in the Shire. These can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, so now if you're through interrupting me, follow dirt path south as it climbs the hills above the western bank of the river. Well, that is not south. That is actually south. And I don't think that she's given us very good directions. There's all those nasty toads and everything again. Tell you what, we will go into sneak mode. Let us continue following the path on further down, because it does continue a good deal further. Maybe we can find this Haradir person that she speaks of. Whoa. We definitely found the crawling rockworms, that's for sure. I'm hoping we can get past them without them noticing, just because I don't want another fight. They're only light blue, it's not going to be that big a problem. Alright, you're not Haradir, but you are cute. And then we have a bunch of strawberries. Okay. More of the river toads. You'll notice they're not nearly as bad as they were before. Last time we were down this way, they were all orange and yellow to us. But they have gone light blue. In fact, we could even take on, I know on my Guardian I could take on a group of them. I don't know if I could easily take on the green toad and all his allies or not at this point. I believe we have missed Haradir at some point, because he is nowhere to be found. However, I wonder if we should have turned back there. I bet we should have. No matter though, I know where we're going, so we'll just travel up this way to get there. We'll just have to avoid the trolls while we do it. Once again, this is just like the Great East Road. You will only see these trolls out at nighttime. At daytime, I think they are rockworms, if I remember correctly. But great heavy thudding footprints. We have a ring right here. Is this Haradir? Nope, that's a stray barrel. I wonder what the stray barrel is doing here. Let's take a look into it while we're at it. I am a burglar. I can't just pass up something. This barrel is lying just off the road that runs through Talbruinen, but most curiously, it is full of pipeweed. It is already a rare thing to see wagons pass this way, but wagons carrying pipeweed are even more rare. You take a pouch of pipeweed from the barrel and resolve to bring it to nearby Rivendell. Perhaps someone there will know what caused this barrel to come here. New quest, surprise pipeweed. And another deer looking to be a pain in my tail. Let's use my trip skill to stun him right back. Yep, you picked on the wrong person again, pal. It's a shame the animals can't talk. I know the foxes can talk. Because there's a fox that talks to itself in the very first part of The Lord of the Rings, whenever he's going along and seeing the three hobbits, Sam and Frodo, and Pippin sleeping in the woods. He talks to himself about what a sight. He hadn't seen that in the Shire in many a year and wondered what was up. So if foxes can talk to each other, it's a shame the deer can't. Because if they would just talk to each other, they wouldn't be constantly committing the same mistake. Boy, this is definitely an overgrown road here, that is for sure. And there is Haradir. So we've kind of come up the back path. I believe this route here is the one we should have come up. And if we had turned down there where the road, where we had that inlet and the road came into up underneath that arch of columns, we would have came here to Haradir. But regardless, we have reached him. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Greetings, traveler. If you are looking for Echad Candleth, you have nearly found it. You simply need to climb the slope to the southeast. As you crest the hill, you will see the camp among the ruins. Introduce yourself to Nestael, and she will tell you of these lands and what you might do to help. Alright, so climb the slope to the southeast, which is right here. And we should meet someone named Nestael. Sure, we probably got a rock crawler on our tails. And not a rock crawler, but a rockworm on our tails. There is the ruined fortress ahead of us. The outpost of the elves here. Sister outpost of Thornhad. We are, of course, going to grab the stable master. And I wouldn't be too surprised if some of these folk wandering around with rings over their heads. Who are we wanting to talk to? Nestael. Well, neither one of y'all look like a Nestael. Is it someone down here in the basement? Yes, Nestael the healer. Just like at Thornhad, as you can tell by all the rings on the map and wandering around, this is definitely one of the next quest hubs here. A road seldom traveled.
What can I do for you?
It is a pleasure to meet you, Narlo, for we have much need of aid. Talbruinen is a place of danger. The Garadane in the southwest have become bolder than ever. The Dag Toshaku in the depths of Erin Singor urge the wood trolls to greater and greater malevolence, and the rockworms of Cirith Uluin make travel most treacherous. A number of hunters have come to stay at Echad Candleth for a time, and we give them what hospitality we can. Treat them with kindness, for they are our guests. Furthermore, servants of Angmar have come to Talbruinen. They have focused their attention on the small ruins to be found throughout the woods, but I do not know for what they seek. Whether you have come to aid us or merely wish to make use of our refuge for the night, you are most welcome. That's awful nice of you. What I'm going to make use of right quick is your ability to act as a vendor.
How may I be of service to you?
I'm going to get rid of what we've got carried around the bag over here, and then we will rejoin the adventure. Alright, excellent. We have sold off our vendor loot, and we are going to go take a look around and see what we have. There's a milestone here. There's a campfire. Candleth is the leader of the group here.
Meg of Arnon.
I am sorry, friend, but I do not recollect seeing this brooch before. I do not know who might have lost it. Alright, well, she wasn't able to help us with the giant footprints then. But there are some who may. And while we are here, I am going to go ahead and bind to this milestone instead of the one at Thornhad, because I think we have pretty much finished up over at Thornhad. The only thing left for us over there are some... Poof! There's the burst of fire. The only thing left for us over there are some raids and things for which we are not currently equipped. I want to talk to Tonga now. Giant footprints.
What do you need?
Ah, finally. That is Elrohir's brooch. I would know it anywhere. He and his brother came into these lands with a small party some time ago searching for something. He must have let it fall during their explorations and had not noticed it missing. The sons of Elrond make camp in the Trollshaws to the north, at Thornhad, north of the Bear Dens and the Ruinen Gorges. You shall return the brooch to him the next time you travel that way. Sweet, sweet. Of course, all that time we've spent at Thornhad, he never happened to mention that brooch belonged to him. Not to mention the fact that we've just bound over here, so we'll actually have to ride back to Thornhead now, instead of simply mapping over there. Nice. Nice. Thank you very much. Always works well to have fate on your side.
Will you lend me your ear?
Alright. We will, however, pick up her other quests. Dangerous Enterprise. My heart has been ill at ease for the last few days, Narlo, and I hope you can put my fears to rest. A traveler by the name of Tim Strawley came to Eked Candleth on his way south. A craftsman he was, and he bore wooden figures of exquisite quality that he hoped to sell in far-off markets. He hoped to raise enough money to support his young wife, Nora, and he was enthusiastic about his prospects. Oh, this is not going to end well. I have seen way too many movies and TV shows. You know, whenever you have a skilled, young, handsome artist with a young, beautiful wife at home who's gone missing, you know where you're going to find them. Usually at the bottom of a well or scattered about in individual pieces in plastic garbage bags. But let us continue. But the road is rarely traveled, and a worry has been growing in the back of my mind ever since he left the camp. If it is not too much to ask, could you take the road south towards Holland and check to see that he has not run into any trouble? I'm sure everything is fine and you'll find nothing, but I'll feel better to know it. I'm sure we'll find nothing. The road to Holland runs south of Eked Candleth and crosses the Bruinen at a small ford east of Garbet's cottage. That's the one that we came up, the road that we came up instead of the road that led off to the right up yonder, where it rises steadily until reaching the Holland Ridge. Return to me when you have checked the road, and my mind will hopefully be at ease. So look for any sign of Tim Strawley on the road to Holland. Holland is, of course, the ancient name, the elvish name of the lands of Eregion, which, if we can pull it up here for just a second, we are here in the Trollshaw. She's wanting us to head down toward the Bruinen and to go along the path that leads over here to Eregion. Right here, the old land of Holland. You see the Holland Ridge, the High Holland, the Low Holland. This is the area right before there used to be a great elf community here. You can still see the ruins scattered about. And of course, right over here is Moria. All of this, Moria and the elf lands of Holland were all abandoned whenever they awoke Durin's Bane. Alright. Whoop. You got away from me. I know you got another quest. Northern Threat.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
I am quite worried about the threat from the north, these Garadane, of which we've seen so many in recent weeks. They are not native to this land, for though some believe that they are men of Eriador gone wild, bereft of morals and virtue, I do not believe that to be true. I believe that these Garadane came from the far land of Forakel. There the bitter ice has kept alive an ancient race of evil men who have long been in the service of the enemy. Travel to this land and see if what I speak is true. If it is so, then I fear that the Garadane are a greater threat than we have anticipated. So we are supposed to go to Kapakota in Forachel and learn of the Garadane. I am not going to go there right now. I have just left the Misty Mountains behind, which were cold enough, and the land of Forakel is a land of nothing but ice and icebergs and snow. So we will leave it off for the moment, although it would be a easy way to get experience. It's a yellow travel quest. But the travel getting there might not be quite so easy as the travel in some other places. You have to go through a few tight little areas. Okay, we've got her quest. I don't see any more down this way right now. Let me see if finding out that that was Elrohir's brooch. No, I thought it might clear up her and she might have some quests. What we will do is I am going to mount up right now. We are going to head back over to Thornhead. Turn the brooch into Elrohir, the son of Elrond. And check on whether or not he has another part to the quest here. I just got a feeling that this is not the end of us searching for the giant footprints. One thing I am going to do, though, I'm not going to follow the path back down to the river. I'm going to take a shortcut. And yes, I know it is very wise saying that shortcuts lead to long delays. But we're going to cut back this way. Go through this little pass in the woods. Pass in the hills. Let's see if we can come up this route here. Basically, it's just a northern shot. If you come through that little pass and then go almost straight north, you will eventually come out right at the Great East Road. You see it ahead of us there. Almost at the point where you turn and go up to Thornhead. You can see the fork in the road right ahead of us. So this is much easier, other than the little beasties that you have to either pass or fight along the way. This is a much easier way of getting to Thornhead than going back down to the Bruinen. But I wanted to show you that path because it is actually the one that the quest leads you on. And as always, we'll always show, the first time we travel somewhere, we will always show how the road and the path leads you, so that you can see the various landmarks and everything that you have to learn. Until we get lazy and start using the stables again. Okay, we are coming up at Thornhead. And let us see what Elrohir has to say. I am going to give him a piece of my mind. And ask him, you know, you've seen me carrying this brooch around in my pocket. Seen the chain hanging out. You knew it was yours. Why the hell have you not said something in all this time? Why, this is my brooch. I wondered where it had gone. Where did you find it? In Tal Bruinen. I see. It must have fallen when my brother and I traveled south to scout that land for servants of the enemy some time ago. I did not notice it was gone until we returned, and by that time we'd covered so much distance, and my mind was occupied with such other matters that I thought its recovery quite unlikely. But you say you found it within the footprint of a giant. It is very unusual for giants to travel so far south out of the mountains, and the thought worries me. Okay, so do we want the ring of the green knoll, or do we want the armor of the forest? Alright, the armor of the forest is heavy. We can't use it. Binomial vestments. This would be the robe, the Grove Tender's gloves, and the Ring of the Green Knoll. So it's one of those sets that you can get. Although I don't think we'll ever use the gloves and the robe because they're not going to be nearly as good as the Matham armor that we're wearing. But this might actually be better. Let's see what we could replace. We've got a 53 critical rating, 159 non-combat morale regen, and a plus 20 will. Yeah, I think I'll replace the Elder's Band with it. So we'll go with the Ring of the Green Knoll. Alright, what is this? New deed, known to the elves of Rivendell, friend to the elves of Rivendell. New title. Oh, we got enough reputation from that. Very nice. We've got some turbine points. We got us a title, known in Rivendell. We completed known to the elves, so we have reached acquaintance standing with the Rivendell faction. And now we must start earning friend standing with the Rivendell faction. When we can do that, we'll get the travel discount, Rivendell friend, and of course the turbine points. Our reputation has changed. Where is Rivendell? Elves of Rivendell. As you see, we're now the acquaintance, and we need 20,000 points in order to get friend status. Very good. And of course the mail that we already had sitting there. Down from the mountains. The giants do not usually travel from the mountains that far south. Talbruinen has been clear of them for as long as I can remember. If there is a giant wandering those lands, I would like to know what it sought. Speak with Erifale, a better sort of giant, at his home on the slopes of Amenindir, south of the high moor that climbs above Imladris. He may know something of this giant's doing. So we need to talk to Erifale, apparently a friendly giant. Maybe he was the father of Hagrid, if you don't mind me, or is it the mother of Hagrid? Who knows? We're mixing universes here anyway, so it doesn't matter if we mix the sexes either. Alright, so that is where we're going to leave off, right there. Although we started here in Thorinhad, and I thought we were going to leave it behind, fate has stepped in, and we have ended right back where we started from. So, it just goes to show, in the current War of the Ring, don't make any plans. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We've finished off a couple of quests that were sitting over there bugging us, and we've got some white and yellow quests to replace them with, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.